The collapse of the Mayan civilization is one of the most intriguing subjects of ancient history. To date, many people wonder why the Mayan civilization collapsed during the 8th or 9th century. Millions of people inhabited the Mayan Empire at the height of its power and prosperity. Archeological findings show that the Mayans were highly sophisticated people who prospered in astronomy, mathematics, art, and architecture. Contrary to popular belief, the Maya did not disappear entirely. Today, some of their descendants live and practice some of their ancestors' cultural and social practices, albeit in partiality due to the influence of Christianity. In this Liber-Tea episode, we will dive deep into history to establish what led to the decline of this prosperous ancient civilization. Both scholars and laypeople have advanced numerous theories regarding the collapse of the Mayan civilization. The theories range from the plausible to the absurd, such as alien abductions. Plausible theories regarding the decline of the Maya civilization include foreign invasions, revolts, and overhunting. In the 2005 book Collapse by Jared Diamond, he puts forth a novel explanation of the fall of the Mayan civilization. Jared argues that prolonged periods of drought, which were worsened by increased deforestation, forced the Mayans to vacate their cities. They moved to adjacent rural areas in pursuit of sustenance. Jared's theory was put to the test by researchers from Arizona State University. In a 2012 study conducted by Arizona State University, researchers to establish the environmental conditions of the Yucatan region at the time the cities were vacated, they established that when people began abandoning the cities, increased deforestation caused severe reductions in rainfall levels. The Mayans cleared their forests as they tried to create more land for agriculture and growing population. Additionally, a huge amount of firewood was required to make lime plaster, which they utilized to construct their magnificent buildings and city spaces. Scientific studies provide that in clear land, water evaporates slowly because of reduced solar absorption by the land. Ultimately, this makes rainfall clouds a scarce commodity in deforested regions. As the Mayans cleared more forests, drought conditions escalated. There were usually flash floods when it rained, which further contributed to soil depletion and erosion. This dramatic climate change occurred during a period of unprecedented population growth. A combination of adverse weather conditions and overpopulation can be catastrophic for any nation, modern or ancient. Drought threatens the food security of a nation, which is critical for its survival. Food shortages may also lay the seed of chaos if the saying, "A hungry man is an angry man," is anything to go by. In addition to those unfortunate occurrences, trade routes changed from overland to sea voyages. The elites, who benefited immensely from trading their city-state surplus crops, suffered a huge blow to their influence. This drastic change in fortunes sapped their power tremendously. This forced the Mayans to make critical choices to escape the claws of poverty and starvation. The consequences of their drastic decision are visible to us today, as ornate ruins of the empire lay across the Yucatan Peninsula. The Mayans were keen to understand their environment. It formed an essential part of their religious practices. This adds to the intrigue revolving around the collapse of the civilization. The abandonment of the cities occurred during a time when Mayan engineers had built and maintained an elaborate water system and intensified the production of goods. The water system they had created had helped the Mayans withstand 2 prolonged periods of droughts. The Mayans were no idiots. They were very much aware of their environment. They lived in and thrived in it. However, interfering with the environment may precipitate unintended consequences, which we may be unaware of until it is too late. This may have been the fate of the Mayan civilization. The collapse of the Mayan civilization is undoubtedly one of the most profound demographic and social disasters in history. Unfortunately, Mayan glyphs from that period are silent on the matter. From the 8th century, diplomatic relations between Mayan city-states soured. Deteriorating diplomatic relations and decreased trade caused many armed conflicts. It also depressed the economies of the warring city-states. The city-states were constantly engaged in violent confrontations, and from 830, Mayan engineers did not build new structures. Armed conflicts also cut short the lives of many Mayans. It is possible that many people fled the cities to avoid imminent death. Based on historical studies, it is a truism to state that many factors cause the collapse of civilization. One of the greatest causes of the continuous decline of civilizations is the tendency of rulers to misuse their nation's resources at the expense of their subjects' long-term wellness. This may also have contributed to the decline of the Mayan civilization. Certainly, the Mayan civilization is renowned for its extravagant architectural projects, unwarranted wars, and the overexploitation of natural resources. Rapid population growth may have driven the Maya to devastate their forests, causing massive soil erosion and depletion. As earlier on mentioned, archaeological evidence shows several instances of resource depletion. For instance, before the 740s, the Mayans' preferred choice of wood for construction was sapodilla. This changed because they exhausted sapodilla forests. Mayan historians have presented three main theories regarding the collapse of the Mayan civilization: drought, war, and overpopulation. These factors may have affected cities differently, as they do not always occur in a contemporary fashion. For example, while the Mayans were a cultural, warlike people, the intensification of armed conflict and its scale may have caused the collapse of some cities. As warfare in this civilization was token-based, the winning side only took a few important hostages and probably massacred the rest. During the late classical period of the civilization, warfare appears to have had devastating consequences for all who participated in it. Additionally, it appears that wars erupted to find sacrificial victims to appease the gods, who would, in turn, reinstate the Mayans to their previously prosperous state. Archaeologists have found numerous arrowheads in various cities, which indicate that life in the city during the late classical period may have been extremely precarious. The most reasonable explanation regarding the fall of the Mayan civilization lies in a combination of interconnected circumstances. Climate change, warfare, overpopulation, and social unrest are the main culprits. These may have worked in concert to cause the decline of the Mayan Empire. These forces were fatal to most cities in the southern part of the Mayan Empire. However, some northern cities in Mexico and Guatemala survived until the arrival of the conquistadors. Thank you very much for joining us in yet another mind-blowing discussion in the Native American History series. At Liber-Tea, we hope you have enjoyed the discussion and answered the questions you have had regarding the collapse of the Mayan civilization. Show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Liber-Tea channel. Don't forget to leave your comments below.